Hey there, good afternoon, and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I'm the host of this show. Today we're doing a top 10 video, and today that group that we're going to be doing the top 10 songs of is Black Sabbath, which shouldn't be hard to figure out here. One of my favorite groups, part of my group of 7, probably been in my favorite bands probably longer than any of the other bands in my favorite group of bands. They kind of came out, for me, I started out with, it was just Kiss. Kiss was my introduction to rock, and they were the only band I would listen to for a good number of years, probably 2 or 3 years at that time. That was most of my mid-teenage years. Wasn't until late 78 or mid 78 that I went from listening to Kiss to start venturing out into the music field. And Black Sabbath, Styx, Queen, and Rush were among the first bands I started listening to, with Black Sabbath and Queen and Styx being very prominent for me at that time. For me, the Black Sabbath I liked was some of the stuff from the Paranoid album, and that I didn't own the album, but I had heard a couple of the tracks, and they kind of established themselves. Styx and Rush were pretty much the same. A couple tracks here. The only difference between them is that Styx had an album out at the time that my friend got, and that's really was the thing that started kind of me realizing that Kiss wasn't the only band out there. So anyways, we're here to do Black Sabbath, and a band that probably has more masterpiece albums for me than any other band. They haven't had a lot of greatness in the last decade or so, which isn't really fair to Tony Martin. I just haven't gotten into his stuff yet. I haven't actually listened to most of those albums except for maybe Headless Cross. The other 3 I'm not as familiar with. And I haven't bought the 13 either. So anyways, we're here to do the top 10 songs, and this was a reasonably tough one. I don't know if it was as tough as Genesis was, but it's pretty tough. They have a lot of high-end songs, and because they have so many masterpiece albums, there's a lot of stuff that will go at the end as honorable mentions quite a bit. Okay, so we're going to do this in reverse order. That seems to be the trend for everybody to build up to the top song, and so I'm going to stick with the trend and give you my 10th and then all the way up to my first. Okay, so my 10th song is from the Mob Rules, and there was a couple of other songs that could have gone here at the 10th spot that just missed out right at the end. I think I was down to 3, and this one won out just because I've been listening to it a lot lately. The other 2 songs easily could have fit in here as well, and I'll talk about them later. But anyways, number 10 goes to Country Girl from the Mob Rules. I love that R.j.dio voice here, and it's a kind of a pounding song too. I like that about it. Fell in love with a country girl down the river. She was up from the other side. Oh, I dig his vocals on this song so much. My number 9 song comes from one of my, if not, it's probably my second or maybe third favorite Black Sabbath album, and the first one with Ozzy, and that is Children of the Grave from Masters of Reality. I love that like that heavy part at the beginning, and it just crunches along. This is really quite a heavy album, one of their heaviest, I think. Many people feel this is the birth of stoner rock, and I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it definitely has that element to it. Anyways, the song is heavy, melodic, lots of really crunching guitar and beefy guitar, and the drums are heavy, the bass is heavy. Like this is a poster child for Black Sabbath, this song, I think. The next song, number 8, is also on Masters of Reality. It's called After Forever. I love the way this song just bangs along from beginning to end, and it deals a little bit with religious beliefs. Some people like to label Black Sabbath as anti-religious and anti-Christ and stuff like that. And I don't find that. This song, I think, is quite the opposite of that, and they have a lot of songs that deal with that subject. The next song, number 7, comes from a different vocalist. He only sang on one album, and that's a bit of a shame. I wish they could have done more stuff with him, even though the production of the album wasn't that great. I actually did a look back on it recently, but the album itself is fantastic, like top to bottom. There's no weak sisters on that album, and I chose this song because it's always been one of my favorite off the album, and to come in at number 7, which is Born Again. I just love Ian Gillan's voice on this song, and I love the melodic part of this song. It's really a really catchy song. Just could listen to it and never get bored of it. Okay, so we move up to number 6, which comes from the Heaven and Hell album, my favorite Black Sabbath album, and actually one of my 5 favorite albums of all time. And this song is not a song that many people would list as a Black Sabbath favorite, but I don't know what it is about the song. I've always kind of liked it right from the beginning. I remember listening to it a lot when I was young, and it's never kind of worn out with me. I still love listening to it, and that's Wishing Well, which is on the flip side if you own a vinyl. And I just, some people that I don't think really like it. They think the guitar solo doesn't really fit the song. I'm not really sure why they think that. I love the guitar solo. I love the melodic crunchiness of this song. And it's a little bit faster paced than some of the other Sabbath songs on the album. Not the ones I've chosen, but some of the other ones on the album. Anyways, I really love this song. Great, probably one of my favorite Sabbath songs for a very long time. Would be on this list no matter what era you talk to me about. Number 5 is The Sign of the Southern Cross. Great melodic song. Just a real classic, and I've gotten more and more into it as time's gone. I love the heaviness and the kind of epic soundingness to the song. The guitar is, of course, great as always, and that comes from the Mob Rules album as well. Another great classic. Number 4. Now we're getting into the top 4, which, these are the cream of the cream for me for Black Sabbath. Songs that I've liked initially. Every single one of them I liked initially right off the bat, and they still are, I still like them a lot. I'm not burned out on any of them. Maybe a little on the number 1 song, but not really. Okay, so the number 4 song comes from the Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, and that's Killing Yourself to Live. This is a great riff, man. Just pounding, and Ozzy's bang on with his vocals here. Just fantastic song. If you're a person that is getting into Sabbath and you want something really heavy, this song and this album is a good choice. Number 3 comes from the Born Again album, another Ian Gillan vocal. This one is he's loud, he's screaming up a storm, he's laughing, he's sadistic in his laugh. It's just a really evil sounding song. Of course, we're talking about Disturbing the Priest. Great. And there's a little bit of story drop on this, that they were recording in an area where they were next to a monastery, and the priests complained and stuff like that, and so they wrote this song. It fits, right? Of course. Anyways, it's a kind of classic sounding Black Sabbath. This is the kind of song you would expect from Black Sabbath, so to speak. Okay, my number 2 song comes from Paranoid. Long have loved this song. It was probably the song that put, the song Paranoid was my first introduction to Black Sabbath, but this song was the song that cemented them as one of my favorite bands and made me want to listen to more of their stuff, and that was War Pigs. Just a classic, kind of proggy sounding, heavy song too. I could see prog music, heavy prog, heavy metal prog, just heavy metal. I could see all these genres getting a lot out of this particular song. So War Pigs, I love that. Ozzy, to me, Ozzy's at his best on this song, and he just makes this like such a biting song. The guitar is heavy, the drums are great, the lyrics are fantastic. I just love it. I love that kind of war sound, that kind of air raid siren sound at the beginning too. Just really announces the song really well. Okay, now we get to my favorite song by Black Sabbath. This came from the Heaven and Hell album. It was the first album I had bought by Black Sabbath, and this song just comes out of the gate rolling at high speed and crunching. Could almost be a new wave of heavy metal from the British scene. Has that kind of feel to it, and we're talking about Neon Nights. Dio's at his heavy metal best on this song. I think the crunching, pounding, melodic but fast-paced guitar by Tony Iommi, it's kind of unusual for him in a way. He tends to be more of the grinding, slow, pounding metal, whereas this just moves right along. A great song. It kind of the song "Turn Up the Night" on Mob Rules is, to me, very similar. Similar song. Anyways, that's my favorite Black Sabbath song. I love it. Fantastic. So just to go over my top 10 again: Neon Nights, War Pigs, number 2. Number 3, Disturbing the Priest. Number 4, Killing Yourself to Live. Number 5, Sign of the Southern Cross. Number 6, Wishing Well. Number 7, Born Again. Number 8, After Forever. Number 9, Children of the Grave. And number 10, Country Girl. So now I'm going to do a few honorable mentions, actually quite a few. There's a lot of really good stuff from Sabbath. I'll start with the 2 songs that were battling for 10th spot here. In the last moment, I chose Country Girl over them. One of them was Tomorrow's Dream from Volume 4. And the other one, I can't quite remember what it was now. Oh, I think it was Sabbath Bloody Sabbath from that album as well. From the same album as Killing Yourself to Live. Both of them very good, solid tracks. Could have easily been on my top 10. You give me any other point, maybe next week you'll come, and if I do it again, maybe Tomorrow's Dream gets in there. So anyways, I'm going to do some the other honorable mentions. From the first album, NIB, of course, and The Wizard, great songs. From Paranoid, there's quite a few from Paranoid. It is, for many people, the quintessential Black Sabbath album. It's not my favorite. I don't even know that it makes my top 5. I'd have to think about it. But anyways, I liked Planet Caravan. I know some people find that a bit of a strange song. Kind of an acidy song. I don't know, something about it I like. Hand of Doom, of course, is great. Fairies Wear Boots, definitely very strong tracks. From the Masters of Reality album, also Lord of This World, great melodic track, and Solitude is one of my favorite quieter songs by Black Sabbath. It's a song that I like to sing a lot too, so it has a dual track for me. Then from Volume 4 we have Tomorrow's Dream, Cornucopia, Supernaut, Laguna Sunrise. The thing about Laguna Sunrise, I like the kind of the classical bits, and Tony does a few songs like this on occasion, and this one though, I think really it's not really what you'd expect from Sabbath, but it's really cool. It actually shows that he has ability to do things other than just heavy music. he's quite a versatile guy. From the Sabbath Bloody Sabbath album, of course, the aforementioned Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, great song. Now, from the much maligned but Never Say Die album, which, people said the band was breaking up, they weren't getting along, there was all kinds of drug use, there was incoherence, but there was some still pretty solid music on this album. That first side with Johnny Blade and Hard Road, and what was the first song? Oh, Junior's Eyes. Those are all great tracks. I love all of those tracks. From the Dio era, we have Heaven and Hell, which is my favorite Black Sabbath album. I only took 3 songs off of it. I could have easily done more. Children of the Sea. I love the start to that song. I love the finish to that song, and I love the vocals. Heaven and Hell, of course, is a well-known track, and actually I think when Dio was touring with Sabbath, they went by that name so as not to confuse them when they were touring with Ozzy. Die Young, of course, too, much underrated track off of this album. From the Mob Rules, also Slipping Away and Turn Up the Night, fantastic tracks. Born Again, the additional tracks, Trashed, of course, that's the start out song. It's kind of like Neon Nights. It comes crashing out of the gate and keeps going along. And Zero the Hero, fantastic track, eh? And then the only other 2 songs, one from the Tony Martin era, and unfortunately for Tony Martin, he's a very good vocalist, but he's got to compete with some very strong vocalists with this group. And so he didn't get as much love as the others did, and so the song from him I chose was Headless Cross. I really like that tune quite a bit. And then I've been recently purchased Dehumanizer and have been listening to it, and although I don't think it's quite as good as Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell, it definitely has some good tracks on it, and the one I've chosen to mention today is Master of Insanity. Fantastic tune. So there you have it, my top 10 Black Sabbath songs of all time. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have your own top 10 or songs you would like to talk to, or if I didn't mention some song that you like, it wasn't because there's just so many songs, you can only talk about so many. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, like it, subscribe. I would love to do more of this kind of stuff. Black Sabbath's great. There's so many things you could do with them. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and coming up probably later in the week will be another look back at a classic rock album, hopefully not too far in the future. And I hope you enjoyed this, and this is Prog Monster signing off. You have a good day.